Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to our channel. I'm Isa and today's video is quite a special one for us to make. It's about something we have mentioned before but never really talk about a lot in our videos, and we probably won't for a while. This is something we still have to learn to deal with, come to terms with. And even though it's a diagnosis received around 5 years ago, it's something we haven't really had time to adjust to, realize, accept, and learn about. So there's still a ton we have to learn, not just about this condition, but also ourselves and how it affects us, etc. This condition is something that's affecting every single one of us. It affects each alter, yet most people only notice it in Joey, who is little in our system that age slides around 10, 11 to 16. It is affecting him physically as well as vocally, so that's why people usually notice it more in him than they would, for example, with me. And what we're talking about is Autism Spectrum Disorder. It's something that we just usually don't think of. It is something I was trying to just put away because the way we have been diagnosed with it was just like a lot of other things. It was not a good way. It was quite traumatic. It was in a way that we were just thrown a word at, which was autism, and they portrayed it as a diagnosis that was a problem, that we were a problem, that there was no solution, that there is nothing we can do except learning about some words and their meanings, and that's all we could do to somehow improve anything, and that's all they really told about it. They never really explained anything. They didn't talk about what it means. They didn't talk about what facts, like what it's affecting. It was just here you go. It wasn't really a nice thing, and sadly society and everything portrays it in a very, very bad way, and the experiences we have made it feel like we were broken. So since there were also a lot of other things going on, it was just let's push it aside and just ignore it. But now over the last years, where we are learning about ourselves more, where we actually take time for ourselves to try to get better, do our best to learn to live with all the things that we have going on. It's something that's part of us that we are trying to accept now. And this video was a special request made by Joey. And the reason for that being is we uploaded a video some months ago on our TikTok. It was the first video, and we didn't really think much about what we uploaded there. It was just a compilation of different authors of ours saying, "This is me," to portray that having dissociative identity disorder does mean that there are many me's. There's not just one me that makes up who I am. There is not such thing as just one me. There are many me's, and many me's make up the me that people first get to know. And Joey was part of it. If you know him or if you've seen him, I will also put in the video if I'm somehow able to find it. It's me. But basically, he has tics and he has stims, which we have learned about over the last months, that some things we do are also referred to as stims, something not everyone with autism does, but some people that have or are in the autism spectrum do stim, and it's something that can be helpful for someone to regulate their emotions, to deal with certain sensory overload and energy, etc., as well as depending on their mood. They can also variate, and it's something that has often a connotation that like a negative connotation from other people, yet it's actually something that should be encouraged because it can be very calming and helpful for someone who does that. It's not something that should be looked at as weird or that should be judged in the way that people tend to judge it, or at least in the way that we have experienced people's reactions. And for Joey, for example, he has his different ways. I hope that Joey's, he wanted to front some time, and he will talk about it a bit from his point of view, but I also wanted to talk a bit about it to support him, to give him a chance to speak and explain himself a bit better, since I have a bit more experience in articulating myself and trying to make others understand things a bit more. He just needs a bit more help and support to feel a bit more comfortable, which I can also share a little note that I have developed communication with him, so he and I are actually like getting pretty close. I learn a lot from him, and I'm very proud that he's part of our system. I also wanted to say that he has something that's called echolalia. That is why he's sometimes repeating words or sounds from the words he's saying, just so you know a bit more about that. If you want to do your research in any of these things like stimming or autism spectrum disorder or echolalia itself, there are many people that probably talked about it and that have way more knowledge in that than we have at the moment. So do your research if you want to, you're more than welcome. But I just wanted to talk about this. I just want to let you know that I'm not making fun of anyone with tics. I do not have Tourette's syndrome, but just because you have tics, that doesn't mean that you have Tourette's syndrome. people with Tourette's have tics, but not every with tics has Tourette syndrome. I'm not making fun of anyone. I am not trying to hurt anyone. I just try to be myself, and I can't control that. I do I do stammer. I do have a yeah, and I do stem like the is calming me down. And either and a kuma tell me that I don't need to be afraid to have to be like me, and that I'm not broken or a problem. I just wanted to say thank you for being so understanding. Most of you, or usually all of you who stick around, are the most amazing souls, the most amazing beings we could wish for. We don't feel ashamed of being who we are in front of you. It shows us that the things we do are helping others, that we are raising awareness, that we do break and help break the stigma, that we do help bring attention to things that aren't especially maybe talked about by other systems, for example, things like rapid switching, because it's not something everybody experiences. We are all different, and it's important to hear many stories, and we just want to share ours to make some of you feel less alone. We do have dissociative identity disorder, but we also struggle with depression, anxiety, PTSD, eating disorders, self-harm, and we also are on the autism spectrum. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for being so wonderful, and you aren't broken. Okay? Love to all of you.